Hello, you hominoids. I got another blooper for you. Stargate. Um, they made another blooper. Um, Season 2, Episode 3, Prisoners. Now, they get sent out to this penal colony, and there's a guy there who tries to run the thing, and this woman comes out, and she's the Queen of Death. Anyway, Daniel Jackson makes a comment about Australia. For all the money and the millions of dollars that they spent in America making Stargate, you think they'd at least look it up on Google Earth and get the facts straight on the right name of the right port and the history of the port, which is under Wikipedia. Have a listen and tell me if you can guess what they've done wrong.
We're with him.
Here it comes.
It's like we're in Botany Bay. What? Oh, the original name for Sydney Harbour. When the British first colonized Australia, they turned it into a continental prison. It was half a world away. Of course, this is probably more than that. It's okay, Ted. It's okay.
Now, did you get it? When they first colonised Australia, he said they called it Botany Bay in Sydney Harbour. Let's have a look. There's Sydney Harbour right up here. Taronga Park Zoo over there. Sydney Opera House right down there. See Lady Macquarie's chair. Right? See Sydney Opera House. Now watch me finger. So he said Sydney Harbour was called Botany Bay. Botany Bay is down the opening of Botany, which is, for example, on my previous videos, where Tom Cruise was in the movie, in the castle, at the end of the show, which is Bear Island Fort. Now, when Captain Cook first arrived, he went to Botany Bay because he had a hole in the Endeavour in his boat. And I can tell you now for a fact, the only fresh water which Captain Cook said he could find at Botany Bay was just inside the headland of Botany Bay. So there's the headland. I'm just zooming it down. There's the headland, right? So there's North Head, there's South Head. Right, Botany Bay, look, National Park, right, come up, right? And then he come in here, and Captain Cook come around the corner. So in one of my previous videos, and there's Kong Wong Beach. Now Captain Cook found the only fresh water in Little Kong Wong Beach. And there it is right there. And if you look right there, all those people are sitting. Why are they all sitting there? I'll tell you why. Because that white line exactly right there is a freshwater spring. And there's a piece of plastic. And it is still running to this day. And it is the only fresh water that comes out of all this sandstone up here from all the catchment, and it soaks into the sandstone, and also from all up here in Sydney. And look, there's Chifley, named after Ben Chifley, the former Australian Prime Minister. Because I did a story up there on Mount Panorama, and I finished on Ben Chifley. So look, there's Chifley, South Coogee, Maroubra. We ought to have heard about Coogee Beach. All the backpackers want to go to Coogee Beach. And then there's Bondi Beach up here. So, Stargate Command, you got that one wrong. There's Botany Bay down there. And then south of that is another little tiny bay, which has really got no real name. It's actually the coastline. And you've got to go down here to Cronulla, over here by the train station. Where are we? Burrania. Sorry, it's over this way. And then you walk down from Cronulla train station, which is that yellow dot there you can see. Right? And just there is the ferry terminal. Cronulla Bundeena. See? Cronulla Wharf. And that takes you across the bay over here to the town of Bundeena. So, where is it? It's there, Bundeena. Now, an interesting thing about Bundeena, getting off Stargate Command for a second, it is the only Sydney metropolitan suburb that you have to drive through the outer metropolitan area to get to it, which means you have to drive over here down through Sutherland, Loftus, and then you drive across Farrells Avenue, which is a road through the Royal National Park, which is also where I've done a story on the Royal National Park train station, which is now a Royal National Park tram stop, and it's the only road that goes over there to Bundeena. So if I narrow that down a bit, you can see the road actually goes over there to Bundeena. So it is the only suburb of Sydney that you actually got to go through the Sydney metropolitan area, out into a country area, but you still finish back in the Sydney metropolitan area, and you don't have to pay a return fare. It still just runs on the meter. It's one of those strange ones. But if you caught a taxi, say for example, down to here, Eagle Rock or somewhere else, or down here to Figure Eight Pool or Stanwell Tops, you'd be paying a return fare in a taxi back up here as far as Waterfall, which is the boundary for the Sydney metropolitan area. But anyway, let's get back onto it. So they got that one wrong there. Botany Bay is south of Sydney Harbour, and Sydney Harbour's actual true name is Port Jackson. And that's where Captain Cook pulled up, right there, Little Kongwong Beach. Right, so if you want to learn about Australian history, go and look it up, Little Kongwong Beach. And that's the only freshwater supply, right where that little green thing there is. And you can go and Google it yourself. You see all the people sitting around the water. See all the people sitting there? And if you look, you can actually see there's the water trail running down to the ocean. Look, because it constantly keeps running. So it's got to run somewhere, and it just runs down the sand. That's it there. So I hope I taught you something. So Stargate Command, you got that one wrong. So Season 2, Episode 3, Prisoners. Right? So, Sydney Harbour is Port Jackson. So go and Google it if you like. It's another blooper by Americans trying to impress Australians. You know, they all say, oh, the first convicts went to Port Botany. They never went to Port Botany. They went to Port Jackson. Because the first convicts built around the Sydney Opera House. And where the Sydney Opera House is, right there, is where they kept their cows. Yes, they put the fence across there and the cows stood out there. And it was on all the old Aboriginals breaking up of all the oyster shells, and the cows were corralled out there, and then the cows could walk into here and eat the grass during the day. Right? Which is now where the park is. Now you remember this is back in 1800, so all this here was still full of Aboriginals, trees, kangaroos and emus. So I hope you find that interesting. So please America, get your facts right. Botany Bay is where Captain Cook landed to repair the Endeavour, and the first convicts went to Port Jackson, Sydney Harbour, and the Opera House is the site where the cattle were stored. And it's in Wikipedia. Have a look at the Sydney Opera House and you can read it. Anyway, that's it there from Mr. Hominoid. I just picked that up. I'll be watching good old Stargate. So much for their prisoners. See ya. From Mr. Hominoid, have a good night. Like, share and subscribe. If you like a bit of knowledge, a bit of education about Australia, click, ring the bell and all the rest. Leave me a comment if you think that's a fair call. You want to hear it again? Let's hear him again. Let's see Daniel Jackson get it wrong. Let's have a listen.
Like we're in Botany Bay.
What?
Oh, the original name for Sydney Harbour. When the British first colonized Australia, they turned it into a continental prison. It was half a world away. Of course, this is probably more than that.
It's okay, Daddy. It's okay.
Sydney Harbour is Botany Bay. No, we all know better now, don't we, people? Here it is. Here it is down here. Here's Botany Bay, way down here. Look, Botany Bay. Hey, he's supposed to be an archaeologist. Isn't he supposed to know his history? Hey, isn't that what archaeologists do? Dig up the history? And he doesn't even know that, and it's in present day. No wonder he didn't get a job working for a university. No wonder he ended up working for SG1. Hope you enjoyed that. See you later from Mr. Hominoid.